Our tour of the Midwest continues. Today is our 2025 Kansas City Royals preview. We're down in KC. We're enjoying some barbecue. We're soaking in the Super Bowl loss of the Chiefs. Luis, how's it going?
I'm feeling Taylor Swift right now.
You feeling 22?
I'm feeling Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Everything's gonna be all right.
All right. Yeah. Please never sing again. But
Hey, there's a reason why I'm not in Hollywood. But we're with the Royals. What do you feel about this Royals? How are we feeling? Kansas City baseball. You got to see a lot of them with the Yankees this year in the postseason. So talk to me about it.
yeah.
What do you think about this ball club and their 2024 edition?
Well, let's dive into it. You're right. They did lose in the division series to the Yankees last year. I mean, any conversation you have about the Royals is going to be started with Bobby Witt Jr., second in MVP voting last year, 332 batting average, 977 OPS, had a 32 home run season, 31 stolen base season. His savant page is all red. I mean, he is going to be an MVP candidate year in, year out. He is that guy. And he signed a deal heading into last season that's going to keep him in Kansas City until, as of now, 2034, which, average annual value of 26.2 with opt-outs after 2030, 2031, 2032, and 2033. If he continues the trajectory that he's on after last season, probably opt out and get more money because this dude is the truth.
Is he the first $1 billion player that we're going to see?
No. Man, that's a good question, though. Who's oof.
We're already at 800 million with Soto.
Exactly. But that
I
was
feel
the Soto thing was such a unique circumstance because he's so young. But Bobby Witt is he's only 24. So 2030, he'll be 29, 30. He'll probably won't get $1 billion contract, though.
Gunnar Henderson, $1 billion man.
Gunnar is not on the level of a Witt yet.
Well, we're not. Let's not get. Let's talk Kansas City. Let's Baltimore pot. Let's go through it. Big moves happening in Kansas City this offseason. They got Bobby Witt at short. Jonathan India is listed DH. Healthy Vinny Pasquantino also. Salvi in the backstop. Michael Massey at second. Hunter Renfroe in right. MJ Melendez in left. Michael Garcia in third, and Kyle Isbell at center. Pitching Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo, Michael Waka, Michael Lorenzen, and then Chris Bubek. And then they have relievers. The big guy is Lucas Ekreg, and they also have Carlos Urseg, and then they got Carlos Estevez. So I feel that's your big pieces. Two big pieces acquisitions were Carlos Estevez and Jonathan India, where they traded Brady Singer. Now, it's like I said, it starts and ends with Bobby Witt Jr. I think he is the best player in the AL, not named Aaron Judge.
Yes. Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. So I feel like this team can go so far, but yet again, it's going to rely on what their other guys do. Jonathan India needs to bounce back into that Jonathan India Rookie of the Year form. Maybe it's different here with a different setting. And I know David Bell used to shuffle the lineup all around. So you can talk about it as a player. How do you feel when you would get shuffled around in the lineup?
I haven't. Yeah, it's weird. And I think it's maybe a little different on a major league level where, the guys have the scouting report on you and it doesn't really matter where in the lineup you're going to hit. Like, you're going to get pitched the same way because these teams know how to approach you. But yeah, it could have something to do with your confidence. It can affect it for sure.
You also got injuries also that happened with Mr. India. But there's some interesting players. Are you a Michael Garcia guy? Because I like him. Pause.
Yeah, it's some interesting. He's been their third baseman for he was their third baseman last year, but looks like they're trying to move him maybe to the outfield and play a little center. He's been getting some run there in spring training, and it seems like the team's kind of high on him there. So that could be interesting. Yeah, I like him. I think they're going to have bounce back seasons from MJ Melendez and Hunter Renfroe, who were pretty bad last year. They have some weaknesses in the corner outfield. Right now, Fangraphs has Kyle Isabel slotted in as their center fielder. Really good defender, but I think Michael Garcia can offer a little bit more. And then you can, move Jonathan India to third base as well as DH him because, you're going to kind of see the DH rotate between Vinny Pasquantino, Salvi when he's not catching, and then India, maybe even like Michael Garcia or Renfroe. I don't know. Probably not those guys as much. But your question was, do I like Garcia? Yeah, he's fine. Be interesting to see what he looks like in center this year.
You don't sound too high on the Orioles because, like, from my assessment, I think the rotation and their pitching staff is just solid. If there's one word to describe their pitching staff, it's solid.
And you could say, yeah, it's definitely solid. They finished second in starting pitching ERA last year. The issue was the pen, which finished 20th in ERA.
They got Carlos Estevez now back there.
They did.
Eckerd as well, who they acquired. Urseg, yeah. So I mean, I just feel it's solid, but you don't sound sold with their lineup.
Well, I'm not sold on the lineup. No, I mean Pasquantino, he's going to have he was good, but if they want to win this division, he's going to have to be 25, 30 home runs with like an 800 plus OPS, really good strikeout rate and whiff rate. He doesn't strike out or chase pitches, but last year 19 home runs, 761 OPS. Going to need a little bit more. I know he was hurt for a bit of the season. The expectation was high for him last year. I don't think he lived up to that expectation. So I'm asking more from him. Bobby Witt's going to be there, but also you got Salvador Perez, 34 years old. Does he finally start to regress? I feel like we've been waiting for it for the past couple of seasons, and it hasn't been there. I probably see him more at DH this year. He kind of did a co-catcher thing with Freddie Furman last year, who was actually a finalist for a Gold Glove. So does Salvi finally regress? Is Pasquantino better? And then like the rest of the lineup is not good. I like other parts of the Central division. I like their lineups better than what they have in the back half. You mentioned the rotation. They just re-upped Cole Reagans. The rotation's really good. It's really solid. Maybe they don't have like an elite guy. You could say statistically Seth Lugo and Cole Reagans. Maybe Cole Reagans could be elite. Lugo was certainly elite statistically last year. Can he do that again? Talking a lot.
I just don't like their outfield. I think they need bats, 2 or 3 more bats, or somebody to get it going. I just feel like they haven't properly developed. When was the other than Bobby Witt and Salvador?
Other than the second best player in the American League.
Pasquantino's nice. I mean, I like him, but like they don't have any other guys that I'm scared of in the lineup.
They have a lot of homegrown players. Out of their 40-man roster, they have 20 homegrown players. Their lineup is almost exclusively homegrown guys.
Yeah, it's definitely very. I mean, I like the good mix of how they've built. They have a lot of left-handed bats. So in the right-handed lineup, they have 4 left-handed bats, and then their bench is exclusively right-handed bats. So I like the mix that they can throw out for lefties and righty pitchers. So, but again, I'm just not sold with the lineup in the outfield for the facts. I kind of feel it's very boom or bust. Was last year a facade? Was it all like?
And it's not like they were elite last year. They won 86 games, and they were able to win a terrible division. Do we see something from Kyle Wright this year? Shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
In 2023. Carlos Estevez apparently is already dealing with back tightness. It's kind of concerning.
William in the backs again. Here we go. William's back. His back talk is back. We had it yesterday with Yelich. Here we go again.
Yeah.
You're going to cut that out, right?
Yeah, I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't have a ton to say about this team. I really like Urseg as like a setup guy. And then Estevez has the back thing. So we'll see. The rotation's going to be there again. It's not a good division. They do have the best player in the division by far.
Do they though?
mean, what, Scooble?
J Ram.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bobby Witt's a different level.
Wow.
No disrespect to J-Ram, but Bobby Witt's going to be a perennial MVP candidate.
I mean, it's just interesting to how they go. I think they need a bat. They lost Tommy Pham last year. They're just going to be I hate repeating myself, but they're going to be like one of those like middle teams. I just feel like a couple things have to go right for them to like repeat what they did last year. I kind of feel like last year was kind of like a, luck in a way. Things fell into place.
The rotation is what carried them last year. They were able to make up for the, outside of Witt, kind of subpar hitting performance. They were, 19th in OBP, 20th in homers, 10th in average, which was carried by Witt. I don't know, and they're going to need their corner outfielders to step up. Going to need more production from them. I think that's the biggest weakness of this team is the outfield, because everything else, the infield's going to be carried by Witt, so the infield's good. Catcher is a really solid position for them.
Yeah.
And then this rotation and pen are going to be good. So can the outfield figure it out? Can those guys outside of Witt, Salvi, and Vinny produce? Yeah. If so, this team can make the championship series. Like, I do think that highly of them.
You think that highly of them? I don't think that. I think they're a DS team.
It depends. Like if they get drawn with, like if they play another central block team in the DS, they could make the CS. But if they're playing an East team, probably not.
How about a West team?
Texas would be a really tough series.
Say they draw Texas. Say they draw Seattle. I don't think they beat Seattle or Texas.
Yeah, probably not. But they have the pitching to hang. And Witt was really bad in the playoffs last year.
Here's my thing: who's their number one guy? Reagans,
Lugo,
okay. Who do you trust more, DeGrom, or Reagans?
Reagans right now.
Really?
What is DeGrom? Can DeGrom stay healthy? DeGrom, I don't want to say that actually, but DeGrom, he's aged now. He's past his prime. Reagans is in his prime.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I would take a DeGrom. I'd take whatever, like 70% DeGrom over Reagans.
Okay, we disagree.
And then the Mariners, would you take Logan Gilbert or Reagans?
Logan Gilbert, probably.
Would you take George Kirby or Cole Reagans?
Cole Reagans.
Really?
I think the Mariners pitching staff's a little overrated. Well, I don't want to step on it.
I'm just saying, like you're saying that they could be a DS team. I'm like, okay.
I think they could be a CS team if everything goes right.
CS team. I think if you get drawn with any East team, I think all the East teams knock the Central block out.
You think the Yankees are a lock to beat the Royals in a 5-game series?
I think the pitching is just way better.
Royals gave them a run for their money. Anything can happen in a 5-game series.
I know, but think about it. You would have Cole Reagans. I don't know. I don't want to get into too much politics, but if we're going political, it's Rodon and Lugo.
Yeah. Rodon will probably be the two. No. Fried is the number 2 starter.
Okay, I'm just saying Fried or Rodon's going game 2.
Fried.
Okay. So then that, and then Rodon against Waka.
Rodon can blow up at any start.
But then you have Clark Schmidt game 4.
Well, hopefully you have a healthy Luis Heel, but as things stand on March 1st, we don't know.
But if it's Schmidt versus who's Lorenzen? No, Lorenzen, yeah, is what it was. Yeah, Lorenzen. Or Kyle Wright.
Kyle Wright could play a role.
And then what are you taking? You taking Devin Williams or Carlos Estevez?
Williams.
Luke Weaver or Lucas
Urseg. I don't know. That's a wash.
I'm just saying both the Royals can be a DS team. They're a DS team, but a CS team, I don't think they're better than the West.
It would come down to draw.
But I'm just saying, do they beat the Rangers or the Mariners?
They can beat the Mariners because the Mariners couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Okay.
The Mariners have to essentially shut out the other team or give up like 1 or 2 runs if they want to win.
I like the Mariners lineup more, but that's getting too much into Seattle talk. But I like their lineup more than that. Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr. is better than Julio Rodriguez, but when you look at the others, like you're taking a big dumper, Cal Raleigh at catcher or Salvi at this point.
Well,
it's a push.
They got Fermin, who's gonna do most of the catching.
But Cal Raleigh is just as good as
platinum glove winner.
Yeah. So yeah. And then you're looking at Randy Arozarena versus the outfield.
Yeah, you take Randy there, even if he was bad last year.
And then Jorge Polanco, which he was bad.
They moving him to third. Well, we're doing the Mariners preview.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I just don't see in the world where they can be a CS team. That's my whole thing.
The Guardians were a CS team last year and heading into the preseason
because there was a matchup.
So that's what could happen, I think, with the Royals. That's the argument I'm making.
I just don't think that this year, with the matchups that they are, if they place an East or West team, they like that. I don't think.
So you think the American League is much better this year than it was last year?
100%. I think the whole AL East has a chance to make the playoffs.
Except Toronto.
Toronto and Tampa are outsiders, but they're sleepers. I think I can go out and say that probably all the wild card spots will be East teams and maybe one West team.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. You're not going to face Central. You're not going to have a year where you're going to have a lot of Central blocks like last year. The Royals got really lucky in a sense last year that Houston wasn't very strong last year. Seattle completely self-destructed. Who else? The Angels stink. The A's stink. And then you had the unfortunate events that the Rangers were just hung over from their World Series.
And then the East wasn't good.
The East, you only had 2 teams. Toronto self-destructed. Tampa was hurt. And then Boston was building. But that won't happen because Boston's better. Tampa's healthy. Toronto spent money and they're going to be okay. And Texas is going to be healthy again. Seattle is going to be around. And then Houston's going to be around as well. The only team theoretically that got worse is Houston.
Yeah, and even they did stuff in the offseason.
And even then, you're looking at Houston or Kansas City. Who's better? That's more of a push.
It's a tough question. Yeah.
So, hey.
Which is crazy we're saying that.
Oh, yeah, but it's just like they had a lot of losses. I'm just saying I really like the Royals, but at the same time, it's just like they had a perfect storm of last year.
The pitching, certainly everything came together. Pitching-wise.
It came together. So, and I mean, right now, last year they went 86 and 76. Their over-under is 83.5. Are you taking the over or the under? Not sponsored by FanDuel again.
Yeah. Give me your pick first. I think I know where you're going.
I want to go the over, but at the same time, I just feel like everybody got better. I feel like the Guardians are better. I feel like the Tigers are going to be there. And then the Twins are going to be there, where in the sense they're not going to be able to beat up on teams. Like Twins didn't get better, but they're like there.
Yeah, they're there.
And the whole AL got better. So I'm going to go under. They scream 81 and 81 to me.
Okay. Bobby Witt was a 9.4 WAR player last year.
Yeah, they're one Bobby Witt injury away from being sub 500.
The Yankees are one Aaron Judge injury away from being maybe not even making the playoffs.
I disagree with that, but that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother podcast.
Okay. I'm going over. Going over.
So you believe in the Royals, even though with all the defections and issues that they have in that outfield, and expecting guys to just continue to do like Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo to continue pitching like they did. You're taking the over.
Yeah.
Okay. I have my opinions, but
yeah, we disagree. But
we disagree again. Hey, that's the beautiful thing about us on this podcast. We always disagree.
I think we have different viewpoints in this the way this sport works. But
but yeah, I mean, we assessed it as their wild card maybe, but I just think the wild card's going to be so competitive this year in the AL.
Okay.
So
We disagree. All right. Coming up tomorrow. Well,
yeah.
we're moving on up to Minnesota. We're bringing our jackets. We're gonna go watch some hockey, and then we're gonna go down to Target Field watch some baseball. We're going to the Twins in the final podcast of our run of Central teams.
Thank
Hope
God.
Joe will be on that podcast, so hopefully.
Thank God. Joe will actually make it bearable because I am so tired of Central teams.
Oh boy! All right. Well, with that said, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll be back. And we'll be back tomorrow with the Minnesota Twins. Peace out.